Hi folks, welcome back to Ecology in my backyard and your backyard. And in this segment I'm just a little bit off my driveway in the boreal forest in a wood lot, a very small one. But I have a great example here of myco-heterotrophy. Myco meaning fungus, hetero meaning others, trophy equals feeding or deriving energy from. So here we have an example of Indian pipe or ghost pipe, and unlike all the other plants around it, you can see that it's white. It lacks chlorophyll. The green plants all around it, on the forest floor and the trees themselves, all have chlorophyll in their leaves, which extract energy from the sunlight to make sugars. And that sugar becomes the main source of energy to build the plants, to build the tissue within the trees, which is all derived from the cellulose. But the sugars that are captured by the sunlight are the main source of energy. A plant without any chlorophyll can't make sugars from capturing energy in the light from the sunlight. So it's forced to find another strategy, and in this case it becomes a parasite of the living things around it. So I'd like to talk to you really quickly about mycorrhizal fungi. And mycorrhizal fungi are what about 80% of the plants, like we said, would have at least one species would participate in that, where fungus would actually intercalate or go right through the cell membranes of the roots to go right into and make a symbiotic relationship with a plant cell. They will extend hyphae, which are very fine little hair-like threads, through the root structures, and they have a very large surface area to volume ratio, which makes them very efficient at absorbing nutrients from the surrounding soil. They also are very good at releasing hydrogen ions, and those hydrogen ions decrease the protons, decrease the acidity of the soil, they decrease the pH of the soil, and that liberates the amount of phosphate because phosphate is much more soluble at low pHs. So the mycorrhizae are able to bring in phosphate that no one else can use when they're associated in a symbiotic relationship with the roots. So the roots benefit from getting the phosphate coming in, and in exchange to having a house, the fungi also get carbon and sugars from the plant roots that only the plants can make with their chloroplasts. So sometimes there's cheaters in that system, where we have the Indian pipes or the ghost pipes here. They're completely white in contrast to the green plants around them. They can't photosynthesize any sugars of their own. So they're forced to get that energy from the mycorrhiza associated with their root nodules that disseminate throughout a whole network that all the trees and plants in the forest floor are all contributing to. So they're contributing all their sugars and feeding the fungi going all through this forest floor. And in exchange, the plants are giving them sugars. However, this plant here is a parasite to that network. It's drawing down from all the trees and plants around it, taking both sugar and the phosphate and other micronutrients. So it's a really interesting system here where it parasitizes not one plant, but an entire network via the mycorrhizal fungi that are associated with all the root nodules. So this is an obligate parasite. It has no choice but to, throughout its entire life cycle, than to get its energy as sugars and its nutrients from the mycorrhizal fungi. However, many plants, like the orchid we talked about before, are facultative or partial myco-heterotrophs. That's just my dog breaking branches in the background there. It's not a Sasquatch, no one needs to be alarmed. But the things like the orchid we talked about before, during certain life stages, like the young seeds, they need that mycorrhizal fungi associated with them in order to extract enough nutrients up until the plant grows up large enough on its own to become fully dependent on the energy it gets from the sun. So obligate myco-heterotrophs would be the Indian pipes, and facultative ones would be things like the orchid we talked about before. So before my dog pulls down the whole forest there, I think I'll just stop the video here, but a neat little thing, and this is called an ephemeral plant too, by the way. It's really, you have to time it just perfect in order to get a picture of this, because it only comes up for a very short amount of time. My dog is checking it out right now. He's very interested in the myco-heterotroph. That's always been an area of interest for him, and he's checked it out. He may pee on it later, but we'll do that off video. But anyhow, a very interesting part of the ecology in my backyard and in yours.